Well, a story that's making sports headlines is the hiring of the first full-time female coach in the National Basketball Association. Becky Hammon, who is retiring this month from a 16-season playing career in the WNBA, will join the world champion San Antonio Spurs as an assistant coach next season. In a position dominated by men, Hammon becomes the second woman to serve on an NBA coaching staff. Lisa Boyer was a part-time volunteer coach with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, Brandon Robinson is a sports writer at The Source magazine, and he joins us here in the studio. Look, I think this is a great day for women as well as the NBA.
I do, too. I think we're progressive as a nation where it's not uncommon to see people of color, people, even women, in positions of power and leadership. I think it's great.
The thing that gets me about this is, knowing a little bit about Becky Hammon, she's a brilliant basketball mind. And Greg Popovich is a brilliant basketball mind. So you know that he's not going to hire anybody that is not going to do the San Antonio Spurs justice, but also that has the respect of the players. And from what I understand, that Becky Hammon has the respect of these men.
A 16-year WNBA veteran. I think Becky Hammon definitely has the respect of the players. Funny story, she actually was on as an intern with the team when she tore her ACL back in 2013. She had some people inquire with Coach Pop about the potential of, just working with the team. She saw the bigger picture after retirement. She's 37 years old, and she kind of stuck, built relationships with players, and she's one of the top 15 WNBA players of all time. And I think it's great for her to be the first full-time women assistant coach in the NBA. It's great.
Basketball skills aside, there always comes a question when it comes to hiring and employment practices of corporations, the income disparities between men and women. Can we expect that Becky Hammon, as an assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs, will be equally compensated for her skills?
Why not? You have NBA head coaches who have no coaching experience. Jason Kidd last year came in and had no coaching experience, was a player, was a point guard and extension of the coach on the floor. Derek Fisher came in with the Knicks and did the same thing. Why can't someone that's a woman come in and do the same thing? I think that there should be some comparable compensation. Assistant coaches usually make anywhere from $100,000 to anywhere to $500,000 or $600,000. A higher echelon coaches. So I think you'll see something comparable.
Now, one thing that it's the bull in the room, the gorilla in the room here. Locker rooms. Is she going to be allowed into the locker rooms, as a coach? That's a pretty kind of sensitive subject.
I inquired about that. I reached out to a couple people that were in the know. It was a mixed bag. I think in the WNBA, men aren't always allowed in the locker room, particularly when they're changing. I think there should be some type of middle ground. Perhaps she's allowed in there after everybody has a towel or has a shirt and pants on.
But you know that women, female reporters are allowed in locker rooms, and there are a lot of towels that are on the floor. They're not around the bodies of the men.
Yeah, I mean, you walk into an NBA locker room, guys walk around stark naked all the time. But, she made a point when they interviewed her. She said, why did people hire you as a women's assistant coach? She said, I'm just like any of the other people that are there. And what's unique is with the San Antonio Spurs, they've always been very progressive in getting, top echelon talent, scouting overseas. They're an NBA champion this year. Tony Parker from France.
Absolutely.
Some of the other guys in the past, even Tim Duncan from the U.S. Virgin Islands. And Manu Ginobili from Argentina. I think that the Spurs hiring Becky Hammon to be in that position is great.
Obviously, I think this will pave the way for other women coming in. Do you think other teams, especially the players, will be as accepting to have women coaching them?
Sure. I think if their resume speaks volumes like Becky Hammon has, I think why not? It shouldn't be based off of the notion that because she's a woman, she can't do a job. I mean, even the NBA has become progressive. They have a woman who's now the head of the union, the Players Association Player Union. And we have the first openly gay basketball player in the NBA, Jason Collins of the Brooklyn Nets. So I think the NBA is accepting of people being who they are and playing. Yes.
Lastly, the big question.
Yes.
Full-time head coach, female.
I think you'll see that before you see a woman playing in the NBA. So, yes, I honestly do think that will happen.
And that may be the next look. Thank you so much. We'll see how Becky does. Good luck to her. And thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
All right. And we have this breaking news. A patient at a New York City hospital does not have the Ebola virus. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention determined that the man held in isolation since Monday tested negative for the deadly illness. His condition is improving, but it's not immediately clear what illness he was suffering from. Well, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching Arise America. Stay tuned tomorrow.